Hello, welcome back to Craftoween. It is day 14. And we're going to start with our terrible duck advent calendar. Let's see, we're on this day here. And this is probably going to be a repeat duck. Yep, we've got one with a ghosty on its tummy. Just so you know, before I do my rolls, if it takes as many rolls as it has been lately, I'm going to edit out some of them. I promise you I'm not cheating. I am just trying to make it so you don't have to watch me roll 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Alright, that's better now that the light's on. Let's do roll number 1. $32. After all that talk about rolling so many times, I got one on the first roll. And we have Monster Mash. Roll number 2. 11. Scrap Bowl. Monster Mash and Scrap Bowl. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, so for Monster Mash and Scrap Bowl, I've been thinking about Monster Mash, and I was looking at the lyrics, and I realized that all the characters mentioned in the song are male, and I'm like, okay, that's not cool. Where are the women? Women can be monsters too. And I happened to find this kit with these really beautiful ephemera cards, and it was called Monster Mash ephemera cards, and it came from the Etsy shop Lovely88, and we've got female characters that could be from the Monster Mash song. So I thought we'd pick out some of these to use in the spread. And then of course I'm gonna have to use my scrap bowl to build some things. And I don't know if I'll put Monster Mash or I'll put maybe a line from the song or something here, but I want to have some kind of sentiment to signify the song. We are working in the cutesy journal today. If you can't tell, it's the purple cover one. And I've just got the pages clamped open so they'll lay flat. This is the center page of the center signature, so this is going to be the very middle of the journal. I think I'll start by picking out my characters. So I kind of have sorted them into categories. So these ladies are all scientists. And I kind of like the colors on this one, but I really like the wild gray and white hair on this one. I don't know. I think we'll start with this one. We can always swap them out. The next 3 are vampiresses, and in the song there's Dracula and his son, so it could be a vampiress and her daughter. If we need an extra character, we could pull in another one. I think let's start with her. In the song it talks about Wolfman, and I don't know if this is meant to be the Wolfman character or it's like a cat lady character. Either way, it's our best match. Plus with the moon here, I'm kind of wondering if this artist intended her to be a wolf, but I don't know. I like her. We've got a couple of Bride of Frankenstein ones. I like this lady that's facing straight on. There's zombies mentioned in the song, and then there's a band called the Crypt Kicker 5. I don't think we have any characters specifically referencing them. I've got some of these ladies that appear to be stitched together, so maybe they're the zombies. We've got a skeleton lady, some witches, several witches, some ghost ladies, and then some ladies that look like they're just vintage creepy. Actually, she could be a zombie because she's got decay happening here. What if we put her right there? And this lady's just flipping gorgeous. I can't not use her. So let's put her there. And then what if we do her and her? Then we have kind of this blue and greens thing going on here, and then black and stuff like that. Maybe. So that takes care of our party guests for the Monster Mash. But we do need to use stuff from the scrap bowl, so I don't know if I want to do backgrounds with that or use the scrap bowl for the sentiment. This is my scrap bowl, and I've got all different just kinds of bits and bobs here, which is what a scrap bowl is for, I suppose. Sorry, my phone keeps dinging. I put a post on Facebook and apparently people need to react to it right now while I'm filming, so my phone's gonna ding. I have a thought with this black and white vertical stripe. Alright, this is a piece of wallpaper and I'm just gonna try to crease it really good because what I want to do is put it as a background here. But I don't want it to interfere with the way that the pages bend. So this crease looks pretty good. And then I think when I glue, I'll just leave a little bit of a gap here so that if there does need to be a little bit of wiggle room, the glue's not getting in the way of that. Does that make sense? So we've got one piece from our scrap bowl, and here's my thought at this point. I thought we could maybe ink around these ladies, but then put them down and leave kind of a wider gap in the middle and do a sentiment across this way, and maybe first make some kind of snippet strip or something with the scrap bowl stuff, and then put the sentiment on top of that. Alright, all of our lady party guests are here, and now we need to do the sentiment, and I really like that idea of doing the snippet strip. So I'm going to gather a couple of things that I'll need for that, and we'll get started. I have a roll of, this is professional painter's tape from Ace. It's basically just masking tape. And I'm going to tear a strip that I am certain is going to be long enough, so I'll compare it to my journal that's off to the side. Okay, this is going to be plenty long, and what I'm doing is laying it down with the sticky side up. Then I need to start grabbing items out of the scrap bowl and putting them on here, and it's going to be kind of impossible for me to show you the scrap bowl and show you the strip, so I'm just going to set the scrap bowl off to the side, and you'll see the items that I pull out of it once they get added to the strip. Okay, so I had fun piecing this together and definitely used pieces from my scrap bowl, but now I don't know if it's going to work with the page. I'm a little bit scared to put it on there. I've got some pieces from a book page, some fabric scraps, just some paper scraps, coffee dyed paper, regular paper, a couple things with numbers, a couple pieces of leather, some sandpaper. Some of the pieces I inked up with black soot distress ink, other pieces I didn't. Yeah, I was just kind of winging it. This might not match, and we might have to do something completely different. Yeah, I just don't think it's gonna work for this particular page. Dang it. Well, we'll set it aside, and maybe I can use it for something else. So how do we want to do this? I really like the idea of having the phrase, "It was a graveyard smash," going across here. But I think it needs to be something a little bit more neat and less grungy like we did with that strip. So what shall we do? What shall we do? Okay, I took this piece of coffee dyed paper and made it a little bit smaller. This did come from my scrap bowl. And I'm going to write out "It was a graveyard smash," and then we'll see if I've got some other scrappy pieces that I could use to maybe either back this or decorate it up in some way, because one piece from the scrap bowl I don't think is going to count. This bird has been in my scrap bowl for a while now, and he got all bent out of shape, and I don't want to use him for something else that I had planned on using him for, so he's going to turn into a black border for this sentiment. Are you kidding me? Look at what my paper cutter just did. So now that this looks all roughed up here, we're just going to take some scissors and try to make a mess of the border around the rest of it so that it looks like I did it on purpose. Not perfect, but it'll do. So we want to fold this in half again, crease it really well because it's going to go in the middle. So we're only using 2 pieces from the scrap bowl, unless I think of something else genius that can go there. By the way, did you know that I am a genius? One of my students told me that the other day. Well, it was yesterday, actually. At the end of the day, we have a little half-hour class, and I just had 2 kiddos yesterday because a bunch of kids had left early, and, you know, long story short, I had 2 kiddos. And so I had pulled out some pages and some oxide and a soft brush, and I was just doing some stenciling. And one of my students that was there is on the autism spectrum, and he really likes to watch if I'm ever doing anything, if I bring crafts and stuff to school. So we were chatting, and I was doing this stenciling, and he goes, "Wow, Miss Page, you are a genius. I never would have thought to use ink on a stencil." I had to tell him that I did not think of that idea on my own. I don't know, I think this is going to be it, because I just can't see anything that I could add from the scrap bowl, and there would be no other reason for me to add anything other than that it came from the scrap bowl, and we've already fulfilled the prompt, I think, by doing this. And even though we didn't use it, that snippet strip we made with the scrap bowl, still part of the video. I think this is going to be it for today. So that's it for day 14. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Make sure to subscribe so you can be notified of the rest of the series. And we'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading, crafting, or journaling. Adios. They did the mash. It's now the monster mash. The monster mash.